Hi, for those that don't know, my name is Rachel Winchester and this is Winchester Ranch, home to the Spanish Mustangs, the only herd in Spain, and the base for Rewild Your Horse Spirit Principles and the Horse Informed Academy. So welcome to video 2 in this series of Champ and myself reconnecting and restarting a dialogue with more consistency and clarity. In the previous video, I mentioned the reluctance for Champ to accept the bridle. And this is not about being head shy. This is about his peculiarity, his personality of not liking his ears being touched. And like I say in the video, I can totally appreciate this because I don't like my ears being touched, but I'm not head shy. So we have to, I think, take each and every experience and each and every dialogue that we have with our horses on face value as independent, unique dialogues with from horse to horse. So like I say, he's not head shy. We can halter, we can groom, we can tap, with tapping exercises and clearing his sinuses. He just doesn't like the action of anything around his ears. So in this video, what you're going to see is me working on that, because obviously it is crucial that he becomes as comfortable as possible with it and collaborative with it. It's not just about him blindly accepting it. He has a choice always, but I would like to create an environment where he is able to collaborate with the process and not just blindly accept. It's not about you will take the bridle and have no choice. He always will have a choice, but I want him to make a choice due to a dialogue that we've had that he feels comfortable with. Okay, so what you will see in this video is some touch exercises, some massage exercises, and it all boils down to a mind-body connection so that he doesn't feel suffocated by the action or surprised by the action, so that it becomes part of our dialogue. So you will see these exercises where I am massaging around the front of his face, his forehead, and the base of his ears. It's a very delicate touch, as it always is, very mindful, and watching for any change in him that is going to show me that he's beginning to accept the process. I will be doing this with him for a couple of sessions before attempting to put the bridle back on him, because I want that next conversation about the bridle to be collaborative and to be a choice that he is willing to participate in. So, like I said on the video the other day, it's not that Champ is head shy in terms of I can halter him. He is quite happy to lower his head. I can pick off winter coat from his star, and we can do tapping, releasing any sinuses. So it's not that he's head shy per se, but he does not like so much his ears being touched. And I can relate to that because I don't like that either. But sometimes we need to get over our little fears, or we need to understand them. And look, you see that? I just was playing with that little piece of hair and he automatically moved his head. So what we're going to do here today is some massage techniques, some mind-body techniques. First of all, we're going to get rid of that. It's just a soft brush. I'm going to use my hands. So I'm going to start around here, around this sort of temple area, and I am with both hands doing exactly the same thing. I'm either doing it at the same time, or in this case I'm just altering it. Left, right, left, right. Quite rhythmic, and then I'm joining the two together And then I'm going to take my hand, and my thumbs are now stationary on the forehead. I'm just rubbing around his ears. I'm going to allow any avoidance, any necessary seeking of space for processing. It's really important that this is at his pace, so he understands that I'm listening. And as he slowly starts coming back to me, I'm just encouraging by holding my hands equidistant, so that first of all, it gives me a really good sense of when he's back in the middle, and hopefully in a mindset of accepting and acceptance. So he's moved his head slightly to the right there. So my hands are just giving him a guide, and when again he gets to be in the middle, there you go, I'm just placing my hands, and I'm beginning that massage with my fingers. My thumbs are resting and not moving, and I'm slow. There you go, there's another one in the opposite, good boy, in the opposite direction. So I'm just holding my hands out again so he can find center for me. And breathing. So my intention right now is to hopefully get to his ears. But it's all micro steps when we have a situation where a horse has a specific avoidance. I'm going to micro step it. So his ears are moving, he's actually aware and staring in the distance. I'm just going to turn, see what I can see. Can't see anything. But that doesn't mean to say there isn't anything there, as we know. Good boy. Beautiful. Oh, that's nice. Just going to give him space to do that. I don't want to get caught on his lips or his mouth, his teeth. I'm going to get my weight back in balance, soften my knees. My hands are still giving him a guide there. Now he's in the middle. I'm going to come back to what we were doing. So we seek space to release his tension. I'm not going to force him back here. I'm not going to micromanage this. Just got somebody leaving the property. That's why he's sort of looking over there. So I'm rocking back just to give him some space, but when I rock back forward and get my feet back so I'm in line, my core is engaged and I am balanced, so I can give him a sense of balance. Good boy. And as he comes back to center. So now we're on the base of his ear. Again, I'm just rubbing very gently. I find this exercise is easier to do with some movement, so rather than just hovering with my hand, because I think that can be quite intimidating sometimes if you are not clear about what you're doing. So now what I'm doing is I'm doing nothing because he's moved his head away, but I was slowly cupping the base of his ear in my palm of my hand in this fleshy bit, so that we were getting a little bit more contact rather than just my fingers. We were cupping and getting a little bit more contact. Oh, hello. Good boy. That's him doing it for himself. I'm just going to open my arms a little bit so that he has a little bit more space to sort of come into this neutral space in between us. Deep breath. Couple of flies about. I'm going to start again. So my hands are open, I'm just rubbing the base of his ear, and then when I do this movement, I'm just catching with my whole hand. Beautiful. And we will rest here for a minute. I'm not going to go for the bridle. I think this is great progress. So I'm going to hold some space for him now, so that he can process that and feel, hopefully, the pleasure and the relaxation in that. Because if I suddenly stop now and take him out, I want this to be the predominant memory of this conversation that we're having, this dialogue. So the moment he has another release, you can see his head's bobbing and shaking, so he's processing. And the moment he comes out of that processing and either gives a release or becomes more aware of his environment, then we will go for a short forage walk before going back to the boys. Good boy. So I'm going to take a step back from that. He's becoming aware of his environment. That noise that you can hear in the distance is not drummers. It is Parker playing with his tyres and jolly ball, and just generally occupying him himself. That's his ears. You can see that Champ's ears are on him. They're pointing away. I'm just going to rest this out. Stretching. He's working his nose a lot, he's flaring his nostrils, and they're moving about. They're asymmetric at the moment. There's a lot of processing going on in there. I'm hoping that he's processing that was a beautiful moment. We'll see tomorrow when we come back and play. So there's another environmental connection. So I am going to further disconnect, turning away from him so I don't give him the impression that this dialogue is continuing as it was, giving him a little bit more space to be. So there we have a really big environmental connect, because there was a dog bark. So I'm releasing everything. I'm walking away. I am moving about. He's moving. I would quite like you not to tread on that rope. Well done. And that, my darling, is our finish, and we will now go back to a little forage walk. Now I've left a brush there, I've left a step there, I've got my water. I'm not bothered about all of that. All those things will get picked up once once we've finished our forage walk and back. Hello. Good boy. There you go. So I hope you enjoyed that video and that you understood the dialogue that I was having with him, because that is important to me. And I would love to hear any of your comments or questions. You can just add them below, and I'll be happy to answer and to engage with you on this subject, because I think it's really, really important. I will now do this with him for a few times until we get a really nice baseline before approaching him again with the bridle. And I think, knowing Champ and knowing his reluctance around his ears, I will be introducing this conversation to him periodically through the whole process. So you will see that happening. So the whole mind, body and touch is hugely important to any dialogue that we have with our horses, and it is one of the inspirations behind the Power of Touch course, which I invite you to take a look at if this is something that is interesting to you, and the link for that will be added below. So take care, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye for now. I love the sound of horses eating grass. I hate the sound of people eating, but horses eating seems to be really calming. In fact, anything horses do is just brilliant. They couldn't do no wrong.